Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I got a story that's hard to believe, and it's out of a town, I think the town, or it's a neighborhood called Willomantic out there in Connecticut. Shout out Connecticut. And this story happened over the weekend, and it's making national headlines. And it's about a nurse who visited a halfway house to see a patient, and she never came back out. And she basically went in to check on the client. The client was this man right here, 38-year-old Michael Carlos Reese. This guy is a registered offender, if you know what I'm talking about. And supposedly the whole house was full of this type of person. Now, I've been in the halfway house before, and usually there are people, well, more times than not, there are people there that are like counselors and staff. For this woman to be found in the basement, you know, M-worded, is beyond me. So I'll get into that, but I just wanted to bring that up because it seems like nowadays just being a female, period, member of the human species, is one of the most dangerous occupations out there. Do you guys agree or disagree? I don't know. It's like a random rise in violence, domestic violence, all type of crimes against women nowadays in the community, and it's like growing, and it's like nobody else is seeing this. But anyway, let me play this video, man. And it said, you know, police officers that responded said this is one of the worst scenes they've seen in 20-something years. Check this out.
The death of a nurse in Willomantic, her body found inside of a home over the weekend. And tonight, a registered sex offender is the suspect in her death.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Hector Molina is in Willomantic with more on what police are calling one of the worst cases they've seen in decades.
Willomantic police say a visiting nurse was found dead in the basement of this home on Chapman Street. The man on your screen, 38-year-old registered sex offender Michael Reese, is the suspect. Willomantic police say Reese was staying at what police say is a probation house for sex offenders. On Saturday, the visiting nurse was there for an appointment that was supposed to take no longer than 8 minutes. Willomantic police received a call from the nurse's family, who said she had been missing and unaccounted for several hours. According to the affidavit, someone who was concerned about the victim used a GPS location to track her phone to 106 Chapman Street. When police arrived, they noticed a man later identified as Reese running away from the home. Once officers caught up to him, police say he was in possession of a knife, a smoking pipe, and several debit and credit cards that didn't belong to him. Police say Reese was wearing a probation-issued ankle bracelet that had been tampered with. Dispatch informed officers Reese is a, quote, registered sex offender with violent tendencies. His GPS ankle monitor showed he was also at the location of where the victim's vehicle was located, just a few blocks away from the house on Chapman Street. He's now being held as a suspect in the murder and faces charges for violating probation, possession of drug paraphernalia, and larceny. Tonight we spoke with James Gavis, who says about 6 years ago, a man who worked for him lived at the Chapman Street home.
He was going to be there temporarily waiting for a drug program. And he told me it was a sex offender house.
Gavis now says whoever runs the home should be held accountable.
As far as I last knew, it was a sex offender program. And for a girl to be in that house is unheard of.
We made calls to the police department to find out who's in charge of the home, but we did not hear back. In Willomantic, Hector Molina, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, guys, that's the video and the sad news that has befallen this lady. Now, I haven't found her name, and I don't think they've released it yet. But this is tragic. Seriously, I mean, just think about it. She's doing her job. Shows up, don't come back out the house. Police arrive after finding GPS tracking the car and figuring everything. They find this dude running out of the house. He got a knife, a pipe, a bunch of debit cards that ain't his. Of course, they probably linked to her. They are. And then another thing is this, like the guy said, the guy that was just talking. Why would they let a woman in that house? These guys are fresh out of jail. When you're in the halfway house, you're fresh out of jail. It's like a transitional period from you coming out and then going back into society. Them guys, they might as well have been inmates. I was one of them. I know how it is. They ain't seen women or dealt with women like that. This guy was locked up for a while, and he had a first-degree sexual assault and an assault charge stemming back, 2000 something. I can't remember the time when I read it, but I mean, it's a lengthy. This guy has a prison sentence where he had, he was sentenced to 20 something years, but they gave him probate. They put him out in the halfway house, which I don't understand. They said the guy had a mental health issue. I recently found out that this guy was the one that the nurse came to see. I'm gonna tell you something, guys. When I was in prison, right? When you're not around women and you're around all guys, and guys that have been locked up can tell you this, your senses become acute. You could smell woman's perfume from across the yard. You could smell it. Like, yo, it's a woman nearby. Like, dudes do that. Yo, you smell that? It's a woman nearby. And then here come a guard or something like that. You would see. Or like, you're hearing dudes' voices all the time. Then you hear like somebody's voice and you can tell it's a woman. Like your ears are going, like, it's a woman. It's just the normal instinctive stuff that men have inside of them that gets heightened when they are not females in presence. And the only reason why I think this stuff right here is not, where women have some type of safety is because people are civilized and they have a lot of freedoms out here in the real world where people locked up don't. This guy is back into a halfway house. He already has a distasteful sexual nature, a history of sexual crimes, mental illness. They're saying, you know what I'm saying? She came to see him. Now, I don't know what she looked like, and it don't even matter with this type of dude. And that's another thing, man. When dudes come out of jail, any woman will look good. So how he got her in the basement and left her there and then ran out the house with a knife and all this other stuff because they had locked him up when they caught him running, put him as a violation of probation. So he was already locked up. They gave him $5,000 bond. As they went and discovered the woman over time, now they gave him $1 million bond, and now he can't get out. You see what I'm saying? So now it's like he was supposed to go to viral court, video court. He declined to go. Like, I ain't worrying about it. You understand what I'm saying? There are people out here that don't have any couth in what they do. They just have these wild appetites for destruction, sexual gratification, so on and so forth, and they will do it no matter who it is, who it's with, and they have no limits on it. Like I said, this woman was doing her job, man, doing her job. And to succumb to a fate like this, see the rise of crimes against women, it's like they used to be a respectable asset in society. Now it's like, you can just pick and choose who you want and just do whatever you want to do to them. These are real problems that we have in this nation that really need to be addressed. I mean, seriously, you're starting to see an influx of savage, intolerable behavior against children, women, the elderly, and a bunch of people that don't have common sense or act like they don't have common sense when asked a basic damn question. This guy right here should have never been out. And she should have never went over there by herself in that house. But then again, she don't know the ins and outs of the operation probably of that halfway house. There should be staff there at all times. It was when I was there, somebody dropped the ball. So somebody need to be held accountable for this and charged. You go to do your job and then wind up dead in the basement violated. I feel sorry for the family. My prayers go out to them. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Region channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Listen, man, I just do these stories because I care. I don't want none of this to befall none of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So always be mindful when you're out there in the street, man. I mean, there are people out there that don't think like you, that are not good people like you. And there are some people that are plotting on you out there, and you got to be mindful. You know what I'm saying? Everything that glitters ain't gold. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.